Imagine a world without truck drivers. We would have empty shelves, no food in the stores, there would be no gas at the pumps, and our economy could literally collapse in a matter of days. I'm James with Survivors Truck Talk, and here we talk about the personal development of truck drivers. But in this discussion, I would like to talk about how important truck drivers are, and also I would like to share a tool that we can all use as truck drivers to help manage our stress levels out here. I've been driving over the road as an OTR truck driver for about 5 years, so I do understand those challenges that we face as truck drivers. But I want to emphasize that truck drivers are the invisible backbone of this world. We move over, I believe, 70% of freight. That's a great percentage that we move in goods. Truck drivers drive over 100,000 miles per year, and especially if you are driving day in and day out and staying out on the road, you could probably be driving even more miles per year. So truck drivers definitely keep this economy alive. Truck drivers are very essential. And sometimes the community and people don't recognize how important truck drivers are. We have goods that come into our homes. We have medical supplies. We have essential items. And a great percentage of these come on trucks. And sometimes the community or people don't realize this, or they're just not knowledgeable of how this world turns with goods. So I want to take this time that if you are a truck driver, your job is highly important. As we just discussed in the introduction, imagine if stores just started to go empty. And we had a little taste of this in the pandemic. There were certain supplies that started to run out, and people started to go crazy, and people started to just buy all the essential items that they could, and shelves started to go empty. And that chain of reaction that we had in the pandemic. But if truck drivers were to just say, I don't want to do this job no more, I'm underpaid, and all these things, we could literally have an economic crisis. So this is how important truck drivers are. We want to take the time to thank a truck driver and also encourage them, because it's a very important job that keeps this world moving. Secondly, I like to say the realities of truck driving. Mentally out here, there's a lot of truckers that are unhappy. And why is this the case? Well, for one, many truck drivers are underpaid, away from family, especially if you have a long day and you end up working into the evening. We all know as truck drivers that is the worst time to find parking. Of course, some of us got the game down. We know to start early and to finish early to find parking. Some of us know rest stops and other places that we can try to park. But parking is definitely a challenge out here that causes a lot of stress for us sometimes, especially if we are tired and we just want to park and rest. The other realities of truck driving is that there's loneliness out here. If we do not have a significant other, family, or a support system, we face sometimes anxiety and depression. This is also weighing on the entire mind, body, and spirit of a truck driver, and that can affect their focus on the road, that can affect their mood on the road, and it just all builds up. Low pay, loneliness. Sometimes we don't have the best food options, and all these things accumulate that cause this dynamic for truck drivers to be highly, highly stressed. So what have we seen so far? That a world without truck drivers, we could stop receiving our essential goods. We could stop receiving medical supplies. Hospitals could shut down. Cars are not moving, and it's just a big chain reaction. And I believe you see the picture that is being created here if truck drivers were to stop working. And so truck drivers are very important. They are a huge part of this economy, and this is why the world turns. And also the realities of trucking is that it's not easy. We have to have a certain capacity and stamina, not just physically, but also mentally. We have to be strong out here in our minds as a truck driver because we do have a lot of time to think on the road. If we are, especially, let's say, driving the West Coast or I-80 and things like that, there's wide open roads there where we start to wander off in our thinking. And if it's negative thinking, it's especially going to affect us as a truck driver, because when we go down into that hole of constant negative thinking, that definitely affects our entire well-being and quality of life. So these are the realities of trucking. But remember, some people don't recognize all the ins and outs of what truckers go through. But I know that you truckers out there that are doing the job, you're doing the job silently. You're not complaining. You know that you have a job to do. You're trying to provide for your family. You're trying to save for a nice vacation, maybe paying off debt or trying to buy a home. Whatever your desire that you are seeking, trucking is allowing you or providing that platform for you to do those things that you desire. Trucking, you don't have to pay rent and certain bills. You can start to save your money this way. So those are some of the perks of trucking. But what we are trying to emphasize in this brief discussion is that truckers are very, very important. They keep the economy alive. We face challenges like low pay, loneliness, and all these things that can add up. And some people do not recognize this, what truckers go through. So a world without truckers would not look pretty at all. Now, understanding that we face these kind of challenges as truckers, if you have been following here, we are developing a tool called RoadCom for truck drivers. It's a truckers app that's going to be available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. And it will have two features, a journal feature and an AI coach. And again, you have heard in my other videos that the journal feature is going to be able to allow us as truck drivers to express our emotions, where we can write our thoughts down, enter it into the app, and we can track our mood. We can upload an image, we can upload a video. And not only is it going to help us with our mental state to reduce stress, it can also help us with shippers and receivers trying to remember the times that were open, trying to remember truck entrances, and all this is important. We can integrate both of them for work and for personal, and this definitely reduces the stress level when we know where we're going and what we are doing, and we know how we are feeling and we are expressing it is the important thing. It will have an AI's truckers coach that we can interact with that will give us tips for our eating habits, for our health and our well-being overall. And when you combine these two features that will be available, we're testing right now, it'll be, I believe, a powerful tool to help us manage our stress levels. If you want to find out more about that, just simply visit roadcom.ai or go to my profile and click on roadcom.ai, and you can learn more there and also provide a good email where you'll be one of the first truckers to know when we launch. I thank every trucker out there that is going through these challenges day in and day out. You still do the job. I, as a truck driver, appreciate you for the sacrifice that you're doing for yourself and for your family, for whatever goals that you have. Stay safe and stay road calm out there, truckers.